Hey, y'all, Alyece Smith here, and welcome to the Socially Ausome podcast, where we empower mompreneurs to implement simple social media strategies into their businesses and elevate their online presence. I'm a mompreneur of three, an affiliate marketer, a network marketer, an influencer, a social media marketing agency owner, and your personal guru. I am here to give you tips, tricks, and tools that you need to build your social media business. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome back to the Socially Ausome channel. Alyece Smith here, and I'm excited to continue talking about humanizing your brand on social media with you for the entire month of May. So today I'm going to pull out my recruiting hat. I was a recruiter for a few years in the corporate space, and I want to talk about one way to humanize your brand by shining the spotlight on your team, empowering your team to be seen and to be heard. And this is something where a lot of brands will go wrong. Now, if you don't have any employees, if it's just you, if you're a solopreneur, then that's great. Spotlight you. You could still spotlight maybe your kids, your family members, the people that might help you in your business and support you in your business. But I'm talking to the ones right now that either are a business that has multiple employees. Maybe you have some freelancers that work for you, even though they're not employees, they might do some work for you. But humans want to connect with other humans. I've said that over and over, and I'll continue to say it. But by letting your audience get to know the humans behind your brand, you can allow them to do that. So having your own team members as your social media avatar can really help. So the login page, you could show the audience side of the company. One way you can do this is not only on just like Facebook or Instagram or those types, but LinkedIn. LinkedIn is specific to that professional networking. It's a great way to humanize your brand on social media by empowering your team to have LinkedIn profiles, encouraging them to connect to your brand on LinkedIn, encouraging them to share content that revolves around your brand or in your space. And it's just a really good way to allow your audience to get to know people behind your brand. So seeing a face rather than a logo can help people make that connection. It can make the brand appear less robotic. It can really have that human factor and prompt further engagement with your people, your audience. So if they get to know their local, I'll give you an example. So you go in your local State Farm. I'll give them a shout out. Why not? You go in there in your local State Farm and you go to pay your insurance, and you know the girl at the front desk, right? You ask how her dog's been, how's her mama doing, like what's been up since I've been here, y'all been busy, like that conversation that you have with people that you see regularly, right? State Farms are everywhere. I would not know the person in the State Farm in Michigan. I wouldn't know the one in California, but I know the one right up the street. Right? That is because I have a human face connected with that brand in my brain. And that is what you're trying to do. So it only takes like 1/10 of a second for a viewer to make a first impression, to get their first impression. And having an appealing profile picture or a face versus a logo can really help getting that brand started off on the right foot. So humanizing your brand can really build that deeper connection. And we've gone over this over and over, but recruiting, this helps with recruiting. So if you are in a business where you have turnover or where you need to hire employees, you need to bring people in, what attracts people to work with you? What attracts people to your brand? It could be the pay, it could be the benefits, it could be the flexibility, it could be so many things. But 8 times out of 10, what keeps them there is the culture. How you run that ship, what kind of culture you have encouraged them to have, and what you tolerate as an employee. So empowering your team members to not only be seen, but be heard. So allowing somewhat of an open door policy. If you have an issue, please come let me know about it. It gets hard in a scalable business and a large corporation. There's a lot of opinions, right? But empowering people to not tolerate bad team members, bad behavior, and really create that culture that people want to stay in. That is what is going to keep your people retention there. And that's what's going to attract more people to work there. If you are creating the company culture that people want to stay in, then they're going to refer people to work there. They're going to talk about their job. When they're out and about socializing, they might talk about what happened at work this week. If people hate their job and they don't like the culture of where they work, they're going to continue complaining about it. That's not empowering. That's not humanizing your brand to want to attract people in, right? So we talked a lot about humanizing your brand through your employees, but it can also help you bring in employees, keep employees, okay? So it's really important that you understand that empowering them and being proactive and allowing them to speak up without hesitation or without repercussions will help keep them there. And in return, what's going to help you on social media, because that's what I really coach about. I really coach about social media, is they're all going to be advocates for your brand. If your employees are happy, they're going to talk about it on their socials, in their daily lives, out with their friends, out with their family. They're going to talk about their job. They're going to post the award that they won. They're going to share when you recognize them on social media for a great job. They're going to share it. They're going to be advocates for your branding. And that's why it's so important to empower your team to be seen and to be heard, because you want them to know, hey, I see you. I see what great of a job you're doing. I see how you're making an impact here. I want you to continue to work here and to be heard. So when they feel they need to speak up, they have the power to do that without repercussions. So I hope that helps. Keeping your team members happy, keeping your vendors happy, your freelancers happy. They will be advocates for you. They will refer people to you, whether it be business or new team members. And it can only come back tenfold to you when humanizing in that era. So if you got any value out of this episode, please leave us a review. Absolute best compliment that you can give. As always, take a screenshot, post this in your stories, and tag me wherever you're listening, whether it be in the Facebook group, on the YouTube channel, or on the podcast. Tag me. I'll share it to my own stories. That's the best way to grow your audience, is to get in front of other people's audiences. And if you're not already in our free community, Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs, click the link in the show notes to get in there. We do weekly tips, tricks, and trainings to help you grow your business on social media. As always, make it simple, make it social, and make it awesome. Thanks, guys. Hey, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I'm Alyece Smith, your host, and let me tell you how you can get a free social media audit from me. Make sure that your profile is optimized and you're ready to build. Take a screenshot of you listening to this episode, throw it in your stories, and tag me. You can find my handle in the show notes. I will share it to my entire audience, and you will be entered to win one of the 5 free audits that I'll be doing every single month. Number 2, if you found any value out of this episode or any of my episodes at all, please feel free to leave a review. It is the best compliment you can give. Lastly, make sure you check out the link to get into my free community, Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs. It's in the show notes. We go live in there weekly with guest trainings and more. Until next time, make it simple, make it social, and make it awesome.